Hello and welcome to my channel. I've been away for a month or so during the quarantine here in Spain. It's been very strange, to say the least, and I really hope that all of you are safe and healthy whatever you are. And in today's video I really wanted to share with you some of the new things that have been happening to me in terms of health and how my mind has changed so much lately. And I'm super excited about everything that's happening and about what's waiting for me in the future. So I really hope that this will give you some ideas and inspiration in your own healing journey as well. So let's get started. So all in all, it's been 7 months of being gluten-free for me now. 7 months and a half to be more exact. And at the beginning I felt so much better, but then as time went on, I realized that my progression kind of stopped and I started getting more and more issues. Like for example, my stools were much better with gluten. Now they are much worse, and no matter what I did, I just couldn't fix those things. Then just over a month ago, once again, I stopped eating dairy, and again I kept having these ups and downs, really good days and really bad days, and it didn't seem like going dairy free actually helped so much. And then I started having issues with bananas and nuts and so many other things. Everything was burning my throat and nothing was digesting. And just like I always said and I always believed, elimination and fear leads to more elimination and fear, and that's exactly what happened to me. The more things I eliminated, the more things I had to eliminate a bit later on because my digestion was just not cooperating. So once I was off gluten and dairy, then the next thing I tried was going off FODMAP, so going low fructose and low fructans. And that seemed like a very promising theory at the beginning, but then I realized that no, it wasn't actually making a difference at all, because even though I felt better, I thought it was because of being on the low FODMAP diet. I actually ended up eating quite a bit of onion and I was perfectly fine. So I realized it wasn't that either. Then I started looking into histamine intolerance once again, and all of these things I already suspected them or suffered from them in the past. So all I had to do was really just look back at my healing journey before and my old videos, and all of my knowledge, all of the things to try, everything was already there. I just had to remind myself. So that's what I did. I just watched some of my old videos. It's actually really handy to have that as a resource. It's kind of like a video diary of all of my learnings and all of my experiences, I guess. Then when I read about the causes of histamine intolerance, one of the main causes was a gut bacteria imbalance, because some of the gut bacteria actually produces histamine. So if you have too much of that kind of bacteria, then you will have too much histamine. And in my case, it doesn't really relate to what I eat, because even though, yes, I can get some histamine from my food, the amounts that my body naturally produces, or my gut bacteria naturally produces, seems to be so much higher that the food doesn't really make that much difference. So that's when I realized that I really need to look into my gut bacteria once and for all, because I already talked about it in my previous videos many times, but I basically got so many courses of antibiotics in my life, probably at least 20, when I was a child, when I was a teenager, when I was a young adult. I had 2 pneumonias when I was 18 and then 20, and I got very strong antibiotics for that. And my aunt was a pediatrician who looked after us throughout our whole life when we were children, and so antibiotics were like candies in our life, because that's what doctors thought in those days. Luckily, it's not like that anymore. And the thing is that in those days, they didn't really promote taking probiotics together with antibiotics, so I never really took them. And then more recently, when I took them when I was 18 and 20, I didn't take any either. And then around 10 years ago, I had a kidney infection and I had to take antibiotics for that as well. And again, I don't think I took any probiotics. So basically, I never really addressed my gut bacteria situation at all. I tried experimenting with probiotics in the past, but not consistently, not for a long time. I always forgot to take them. I don't even know why. So I basically went to my fridge and I found an old bottle of probiotics that I bought a couple of years ago, and then I actually bought them for my husband, not for myself. Very strange, right? Because I was the one who needed them the most. And they were there, expired 6 months ago, but They were always kept in the fridge, so I reckoned I would just try them anyway. And that was 6 days ago. And it's been miraculous for me. I feel like a new person. I really think, fingers crossed, this is really the root cause of all of my issues, all the antibiotics, plus the birth control pills I took for more than 10 years. Both of these things actually disrupt the gut bacteria balance big time, and that's definitely the first thing I need to do in order to fix my digestion. Now I see it clearly. The probiotic I had in my fridge is the PB8 probiotic, and it's got 14 billion active cultures, and a lot of the strains it has are actually the strains that colonize your bacteria, your gut long term. They don't actually just pass through your body and disappear. I read about it in Dr. John Doulard's book, Eat Wheat, a while ago, which really helped me to get back to eating wheat and fix my digestion in the past. And this probiotic has most of those strains that Dr. Doulard said they colonized your gut. So I can't believe I had it all this time and I never really took it. Very silly of me. I actually recommended this to many of you in the past when you asked me what probiotic I would recommend. And I really don't regret doing it because I think it's amazing. I had such a gem in my fridge and I never tried it. So at the beginning, for the first few days, my belly was going through a battle. There was so much gurgling and moving around. It almost felt like baby kicks in my belly. There was so much movement, so much crazy things happening. And then everything just quieted down and I started feeling so good. And now every day I feel better and better. I just feel so light. My belly is completely flat, even right after meals, which is unheard of. All of my joint pains completely have gone away. My wrists and the joints of my fingers don't hurt anymore. I have no more lower back pain and tightness that was torturing me for the longest time. My skin is so soft everywhere. On the face is perfect, and also my soles of my feet are so good too. What else? My hair is not falling out. My gums are so happy, and my whole mouth was full of irritations, full of little wounds before, and now it's all healed. My tongue is very clean. I sleep so well. My mood and energy levels are fantastic. I feel hungry again. I honestly almost forgot what being hungry feels like, but now I feel hungry again and food tastes amazing. Oh, and my cuticles are so nourished. They're not peeling at all, even though I've been cleaning a lot. I cleaned the oven, I cleaned the fridge yesterday, and they are not peeling at all. I also had really weird dizziness and weird headaches before, especially after some foods. That's all gone. I'm not dizzy at all. So yeah, I'm so excited about all the changes, and I can't wait to see what else will happen. Now I got my husband on the probiotics as well, all of my pets, my mom and sister as well, and we're all very excited to see the results. But my stools are still not okay, so I guess we'll just need a bit more time and maybe a few more remedies that I got as well, and I will talk about them in the next video. A week ago or so, my baby ended up sleeping through the night for 10 hours without waking up to eat for 3 nights in a row, and I ended up getting proper uninterrupted sleep for 3 nights, and that made such a difference for my brain. For the first time in 11 months, I was able to think clearly, and I realized that I've been making a huge mistake. I've been focusing on eliminating more and more foods rather than actually focusing on fixing my digestion so I can eat everything again, which has always been the focus. It's always been my whole identity. It's always been what my channel is about, what my work is about, what my whole value system is about. I've never been about elimination and fare, apart from my crazy diet days. But ever since I stopped dieting, I've been very much about healing myself and eating everything. And I really hated the fact that I couldn't eat dairy, I couldn't eat gluten, I couldn't eat this, I couldn't eat that. So I was basically focusing on the negative and on the fare, and that really doesn't lead to anything good. So suddenly everything became really clear in my mind, and I realized that I really had to focus on fixing everything. So for sure I want to eat dairy again, and for sure I want to eat sourdough again. I don't know if I'll be able to eat any kind of wheat or spelt. We'll see about that. but for sure I want to be able to eat sourdough bread, and that's my goal. It was very important to me before, but now it's even more important because I have my son and hopefully more children in the future, and I feel it's really important for them to grow up with a proper relationship with their food. And if their mom doesn't eat a lot of different foods, it's not a really good example to show them. And at the same time, if I can't eat certain foods, of course I won't be cooking meals with those foods, and so they will end up having very little exposure. So they might end up having sensitivities to those foods as well, simply because they're not really used to them. And I don't want them to not be able to go to parties with their friends, to eat at school with their friends. I just want them to have a normal life. And I feel that if I don't fix my digestion, I won't be able to give it to them. Another reason is that I don't believe you're truly healed, truly healed, until you can eat everything, as long as it's homemade, real food. So that's why I feel like I can't rest until I truly fix myself. Also, I feel like in the last 7 months, when I was gluten-free and then dairy-free, I felt like I lost my identity. I already lost a lot of my identity when I became a mom. Of course, I also gained other things, but I lost so much of my life when I became a mom. At the same time, going gluten-free and then dairy-free made me lose another big chunk of my identity. And in terms of my channel as well, it was always about being free and eating everything, and suddenly I couldn't do that. My sourdough videos are my most popular videos in my whole channel, and I can't do that anymore. So I really struggled. I was having a huge identity crisis. And then simple things like traveling. I want to be able to travel and sample things all over the world freely. I really want to go out and visit my friends and family and eat whatever they give me as well. I just want that freedom. So that's what's driving me on. Those are my motivations. But for now, I have to be patient. So I'm still not eating dairy and I'm still not eating gluten, and it will stay like this for a while. I'm going to give my body a bit more time to heal with all of the things I'm going to do now. And then first, I will reintroduce dairy. Hopefully that goes fine. First sheep and goat and buffalo, and then later normal cow dairy, and let's see how that goes. And then next I'm going to reintroduce sourdough bread. If sourdough bread is okay in the future, I really want to try also regular wheat and spelt as well, but I'm not sure how that's gonna go. So even if I just have sourdough, that would be more than enough for me. The sad thing is that I kept trying to keep my sourdough starter alive for a few months, but then it was really difficult to remember to feed it because, when you're not making bread, it's not so easy. So we ended up killing it, and that's really sad because now I'll have to make a new one. And that starter was 4 years old or something like that. So that's a real pity because now I'll have to start from fresh. But luckily it takes 5 days or so, and hopefully I will have it ready again. Hopefully I can share more sourdough recipes with you because you're all loving them so much. So I'm very excited about the future. And the next video is going to be about all the things I'm doing to fix my digestion once and for all so that I can eat everything. Stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you're okay during the quarantine. Let me know in the comments how it's going for you, and I will see you in my next video.